y'all both got HBO Max?
I do, because I'm an AT&T customer, and because of that fact, and if they just randomly,
free.
Yeah, super free. If they just randomly decide, like, we're not gonna offer this free anymore, even if they didn't, I wouldn't change. I like this gig speed service that they got, but I got it free.
Cool. Easy. You another one that's got it for free too, or are you paying?
No, they haven't emailed me with a 16 discount yet, so I don't have it.
Because I had it and I let it go because we like I had HBO Now for like when Insecure was on, and then I let it go, and then I had it for a second on trial, and then they sent me an email saying, "Hey, we'll give you this amount of % off for an entire year," and I'm like, sold. And I actually like the app.
I would do that.
HBO Max is amazing.
No, they got
probably paid like what you would pay for a year, but it was at a discounted price, right?
Yeah. So I was like, at first I was like, I don't know about it. Then I started exploring the library, and I'm like, damn, this is a damn good app.
It's quite a few. Even if you're not talking about like the newer stuff or the original series, like just the old stuff that they got on there, it's actually pretty dope. Like they got everything Adult Swim. They got Crunchyroll, Ghibli Studios, stuff like that. If you're in the anime, they got I said Looney Tunes already.
So do they have the rights to all that?
Looney Tunes. They got the whole Looney Tunes catalog.
Is that their property, or are they just like?
Well, so HBO is owned by Time Warner, so you're pretty much getting everything
so they got
Time Warner.
Wow. Yeah. So they got
all Time Warner Studios.
Because I know they were like, they got all of South Park on there, and they took it off of Hulu because of that.
Yeah,
hey, that is a huge catalog of stuff. Time Warner.
Yeah, I was shocked with the amount of content on there too, especially like you mentioned anime. Like I like anime. I'll check it. I was really pleasantly surprised on what it was, because at first I was like, I was skeptical. I'm like, and then I looked and I'm like, damn.
Same. So I actually did not know they had as much Crunchyroll content. You know what I mean? Like available through HBO Max. I thought it was gonna be like 1 or 2 shows or something. I mean, it's pretty much all of Crunchyroll stuff, and you just watch it.
Man, and now, with the stuff that they announced, they changing the game now, man. So now, the next big release was Wonder Woman 1984. So they said, you know what? The Rona's out here. Let's pander to the people who don't want to go out there. You want to go to the movies? Fine, we'll put it out there. But now if you're an HBO Max subscriber, their entire, 2021 catalog, they dropping at home. The theaters are pissed, but I couldn't be more happy, man.
This is a pioneer move. This is going to be revolutionary, because it
really is.
It's not you can watch it at home, but you got to pay $60, you know what I'm saying, to watch it at home thing. It's like, nope. As long as you subscribe to our streaming service, which they may get new subscribers just to get this movie, but you're going to pay what, $10.99, $12.99, $16.99, something like that for that one movie, which is about the same as a movie ticket. So
yeah, and I mean, I think Netflix like kind of started that with The Irishman.
Yep.
But I don't think they were as aggressive with it as they should have been.
Yeah.
Because now Netflix is in a situation where they're talking about going back up on prices.
That you're gonna pay. People complain, but you're gonna pay it. So.
Yeah. I mean, they got good stuff. I mean, they did a good job betting on their original content. They do really good with their stuff.
Yeah. They got some good original anime too. I mean, cut off, but in 16.
Yeah. But
they got some good original.
I definitely think that. I mean, kudos to HBO Max for just saying, you know what, F it, we'll take the hit on it.
They grew some cojones and pull the trigger.
They're trading. I feel like they're trading in some guaranteed, hey, we'll get a couple of bucks from people who do it, because how many folks are going to be out there creating multiple ones for a free trial for every movie that drops? So they're like, you might get one on a free trial, but you ain't going to get them all on a free trial. Eventually, you're going to spend that money.
But so because, like I said, because HBO Max is owned by Time Warner Brothers Studios, they kind of got a built-in platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why they're doing it, because, Warner Brothers is DC. So anything DC that drops, they could just drop it straight to HBO. Anything that Warner Brothers, the movie studio, produces, most notably the DC, DC Universe content. like they're not losing out. So we had this conversation before about who's that got mad? Was it Universal? That wasn't Universal Studios. Who was that got mad before?
Who was that put out Trolls that was pissed off? It was Universal. DreamWorks. But
one of those movie studios, they was like, well, no, we had this long-standing agreement that streaming services wouldn't cut out theaters because that's where our bread is. No, AMC complained. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
AMC complained that Universal DreamWorks was thinking about doing that. So anyway, ain't nobody to complain if you own the damn studio and the streaming service. So
nope, it's a win-win situation.
Win. So I'm excited. Man.
Well, it ain't a win for the movie theaters, and the fact that this has happened and ink's been put to paper on it. I think probably the next decade we might be talking we might be talking about movie theaters the way our parents talk about drive-ins.
Very
and how
true.
Fun they used to be.
That is a very accurate observation because I feel like people will probably still go because of the whole like IMAX. You're not gonna be able to get an IMAX experience at home yet.
That's true.
But it's coming.
But how many movies have an IMAX version available? Maybe one out of every 10, if that.
It's your blockbusters and stuff, but I don't know that that's a big enough draw for me.
Is it enough to is it enough for you and your wife to get in your car, drive there, spend money on snacks when you could just be at the crib?
Right.
If you need to pause the movie because you need to
deal you're getting. You're paying $16 a month to watch every new movie that comes out every month. Your snacks are 10 feet away. You don't have to worry about lousy customer service
or other patrons. Somebody else yelling.
You don't have to worry about expensive food,
sticky seats, sticky floors.
What you're paying for one movie ticket to go to the movie theaters, you could just spend on an HBO Max subscription every month.
Yep.
Now, I mean, we're talking about it being built into the subscription, but I would not be opposed at all if it's a movie I want to see bad enough to paying for it.
I'm with Khujeaux.
I wouldn't like the Mulan situation. Disney Plus tried to charge people $30 to see that movie. I didn't want to see Mulan that bad, but if it was, let's say, Avengers Endgame or something like that,
it's a steal.
I'm like, $30 for me not to have to leave the house?
It's a steal.
Run that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand what people complain. They make me pay it on top of it, but I'm like, you're going to end up paying more. You go to movies. You think about it for a second. You buy, let's say you're a family of 4 going to see a movie. All right. You buying tickets. You get snacks for all of them. Again,
you're not spending
driving there. Yeah, you're not. It's a come up. So the theaters are just upset because they're like, okay, they're taking it away from them. But what about the consumer? People are whining about what they can and can't do because of COVID, because COVID's telling them not to. But most of these people want to sit on their ass at the house and watch stuff on their streaming service anyway.
Yep. It's the I don't have the option to that people are mad about.
It violates my rights.
You didn't go nowhere anyway.
That's what I'm saying. You was at the crib and now they tell you to stay home and now all of a sudden you want to go bowling.
Right. Khujeaux bowling. Bowling trip still on the schedule.
Rona and all.
To an alley in 2022.
But man, no, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you which one of the ones that they're dropping, because now that they're dropping at home, you can watch them all, even the ones you wasn't interested in, you can check them out. But what's the one that's on the calendar that's really got piqued your interest? Khujeaux, is it The Matrix?
No, I'm gonna see Wonder Woman, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I'm probably gonna end up watching them all if it's just offered to me. But the one that I hadn't intended to even let's say if all these were just gonna drop in theaters, I probably wouldn't have gone to see Wonder Woman because I didn't go see the first one in theaters. Not that I'm anti-Wonder Woman or anti-DC or whatever, but it just didn't draw me as much. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have that interest. But yeah, now that this, I can just press a button and it's just available to me. Yeah, I'm definitely watching it at the house.
Yeah.
What about you, Ez? You got any ones of the ones that are dropping in 20 or 2021 that's really piqued your interest?
I'd probably say Wonder Woman too, just because I really enjoyed the first one. Yep. I thought they did a good job with it. I'm just trying to think through so with the movies, because obviously y'all probably read this more than me, but if a movie comes out, how long does it stay on that app? Is it limited time?
It's limited. I read this. I have to go back and find it again, but it's gonna be on the app for like a certain period of time before it goes away. So it's not one of these things that's gonna be sitting there, 8 weeks after it dropped and still be on there.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I figured they would probably give it like a movie theater run, so like 6 weeks.
Yeah, we could look it up and maybe we could find find it before the show, do a little research, but I don't think it's even long as 30 days. I think it's shorter than that, where they give you, look, we doing you a favor by dropping it. It's on demand. Like, goddamn, get off your ass and hit the button and watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But then again, why? I guess from a business perspective, I would need to understand why that is, because if we're talking about the movie, movie theater, I mean, I get to draw people to it as quickly as possible, but for them to take it down and put it back up a short time later, because that's essentially what they're gonna do. Why not just leave it there? And so I guess the point I'm trying to get to is that they're still building this around the existing architecture, right? The movie theater run to digital. So it's like, what is our box office for this limited span of time before we drop it on digital platforms, as opposed to just it exists in the digital space. So now let's just track how many people watch it.
Yeah, let's see what the work is. And Easy, you were right, man. It is 30 days. So it'll remain on HBO Max from the day it drops for 30 days.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they're probably doing limited time just because, like, they'll count streams now as box office.
Right.
Yep. How they count, like listens for digital albums, that type of thing?
Right. Like, album sales went away, and now we count streams.
Yeah.
And equate that to what an album sale would be.
So I wonder if they'll do a similar, like, so I think it's 1,000 streams.
I would think so.
I think 1,000 streams is one physical copy, I think is how they divvy it up or something like that. It's high,
but this thing is gonna break records, man. Like on Christmas Day when this drops, like I hope they prepare, because people are gonna be watching this movie in droves, I feel like. I
think so. Especially with this being the first one. I think people want to be a part of history, so to speak.
Yeah, and they want to see what they're getting themselves into.
Radio show movie review on Wonder Woman?
Hey, I'm with it. I'm with it.
Let's do it. Cause
I found the plot to be contrived and fell apart in Act 3.
Yes, I mean, it's I don't know. This is an interesting time that we're in, man, where we're literally seeing the world as we know it changing, with some of these changes probably being here to stay. Like a lot of these places that have went like curbside, and now what's happened with movies. Like, I'm good with it though.
It's stuff that should have been happening once the technology became available. Once the technology became available for you to be able to do your job at home, it should have been a plan in the works for each corporation or each company that can afford, not to have to pay for this overhead, and for people to be able to do their job successfully, to be able to work from home. It shouldn't have taken a worldwide pandemic for you to be able to say, you know what, we're gonna let everybody work from home. We've been had cloud-based, programs, infrastructure, whatever you want to say. We've been had cloud-based and remote access to servers and stuff like that. So why did it take this? And the same thing with movie theaters. Streaming services have been out since Netflix stopped mailing movies to your house. Why did it take a pandemic for you to start dropping movie theater movies, other than that backdoor agreement that they had with movie theaters? So all this stuff could have been done.
That's twofold. Like, I mean, look at the majority of the people running Fortune 500 companies, baby boomers.
Yeah.
I want to get 16 started on this tangent. But I think also too, they were getting away with making just enough profit to keep it going. Whereas now, a lot of stuff that you were doing before that was probably not smart from a business sense, but you had enough money to let it go.
Right.
Now you can't do that anymore. So now you have to do it. Looking at you airlines with your cancellation fees that went away and all this stuff.
Now we'll say from an airline perspective, they made 100% profit on all that stuff. Baggage fees, cancellation fees.
Oh yeah.
All those fees. That's where majority of profit. Like I want to say they make 12% profit, maybe, or something like that. 30, it's no more than 25-30% profit. That's high on the actual ticket.
They pay pilots.
Yeah.
The maintenance on an aircraft, to buy an aircraft, to keep up that fleet.
And not to mention FAA fees. Like some certain countries charge you just to fly over their airspace. Like if you have a route between JFK and, I don't know, Russia, like Rome, Germany, all of them are charging you to fly over their airspace. So you got to pay, the airline has to pay that too. And then they getting that back from you in the seat, and, you know. But anyway, that's how they were making their money. So man, it should be interesting to see what they do going forward to recoup.
So interesting, man. This whole thing with how the world has evolved, like the pandemic forced us to just basically, I don't know, just alter the way we looked at things, where people were stuck in their ways. And that's the problem with these movie theaters. Like it's not that the movie industry's fault that the movie theaters didn't evolve, you know. It's not their fault.
Not their fault at all.
And they're trying to say, well, it's not fair that you're not having it to where, you know, people can't come in here anymore and they can stream for the comfort of their home. How dare you? I'm like, it's better for me, the consumer. Because like you said, Khujeaux, I gladly spend, if it's a movie I really want to see and I was going to spend $30 to drive there and go see it, you telling me I could, you know, basically spend the same amount, give or take, but I don't have the extra overhead of paying for the rest of the shit that goes along with it, and dealing with, like you said, rude patrons, or, you know, hearing noise from people rattling bags and playing with their phone. I could just be at home. Man, people underestimate how much people will pay for comfortability, because I know I'm in that category.
Now imagine CD like disc pressing manufacturers and distribution companies be like, hey, it's not fair that people get to stream music now. You should have don't release music to streaming platforms. Keep them on CDs.
It's a terrible idea.
Right? Exactly. Your format is archaic, and we've evolved past that. This is where we're going.
Well, they've probably been outraged since the iPod. So,
I mean, we're even past the point of, like, when you talking about with streaming, where you're not even downloading individual albums. You pay for a streaming service every month, and you get every goddamn thing.
Right.
You don't just buy one of them; you get everything.
Yep. Now, okay. So, as an artist, M16, how do you feel about how artists how they get that cut from streams? So, like, if you get your album streamed 1 million times, right? That doesn't mean you have 1 million album sales. You have like 200,000 or 150,000. It's like it's a fraction. Mm-hmm. And we need to do research on what that is. But anyway, as an artist, do you feel it should?
I got you, Khujeaux.
Thank you, sir. Do you feel it should be 1-to-1?
No. Okay. It's skewed, and I say that without having like a prepared answer, because it's like, what if somebody is listening to
1,500 streams?
Yeah, I said
one.
I was close.
So you were almost there.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go.
Okay. So yeah, it's not too much I could argue against that, because again, this isn't people that's spending money to purchase it. It's just them listening to it. And I don't know who came up with the ratio for that, but obviously there was some math with some people who are better informed than I am about that, to say, okay, well, this is what we'll do to equal what people are listening to. Because you got to take into consideration, what if you click on the album by accident? Like, you don't really want to listen to this person, but you accidentally did that. So I guess they're trying to say, is it a trend that these people listen to the same person consistently instead of an accidental listen to somebody? So maybe that's part of it too.
I feel like 1,500 is too high though. I feel like that. I think that number has a lot of industry greed built in behind it, because
are we talking about song now? Were you mentioning like 15 streams of an individual song, or are you listening from an album from start to finish is what they're talking about? I think the way they count a stream is if you click on the album and a song starts playing, but they also look at listening time. So like the average time that people listen to it. So I think, like, you can see on the radio show average listening stats, you can see average listen time when so they see the same thing in streams, and I think they only count it if it's, I think, a minute or more or something like that. I don't think they count it if you just click on it,
like if you click on Sergio Beach Tunes or whatever, and then, like and then it just starts playing for like 1 second, you turn it off, like Sergio ain't getting a cut of that. But yeah, so I think it's more to it. But
no, that's a real interesting question, because I never considered that. Because anytime I had stuff uploaded, it was like on Reverb Nation, where if somebody bought it, I got like $3 off or whatever the amount was or whatever. But I never considered what it took to with streaming. But it changed everything, because if you notice, like the only people don't really go platinum no more. Like it's not based on that. You know, people look at how many Spotify streams you get, you know, to base it on.
They still RIAA, they still go platinum.
Yeah,
did they change like the criteria for what it takes to be platinum now?
No, I think it's still a million.
Yeah, it's still a million
sales. But you gotta think about it, like people like The Weeknd and
like Drake did 1 billion. But
Ariana Grande, Drake,
if you do the math,
like 1 billion streams.
If you do the math on 1 billion streams, it came down to like 600,000 physical copies. Like he didn't even go on 1 billion streams. That means
so he went gold.
Right, exactly. Which is crazy to think that's how that math adds up. Like 1 billion, that is a lot.
If Drake is as popular as Drake is, if there were like physical CDs being, I mean, he probably had 3-4 million sales every time he dropped. He go diamond every time. Yeah.
Diamond's how many? Crazy. 5?
10.
Oh, okay.
He go down. This is, and I say that because this is in a world now. Recall a time where the only way you could hear a song is if it came on the radio and you were listening to the radio at that time, or if you caught your bootleg man at the barbershop or whatever. Yeah. So and then they start building in bootleg fluff into sales. They say this percentage is going to be pirated, so we're going to give you that. You know what I'm saying, as part of your sales. So anyway. In a world where you can't hear a song unless you buy it, I believe Drake will be going diamond more often than not.
I would agree with
that. I could agree with that. With people, if they taking the time to stream him 1 billion times, and Lord knows how many hits his YouTube, like the videos on YouTube have. Right. So yeah, I could believe that. It's just crazy the way things have been, have changed in that manner. Like I said, I'm excited with where it's headed, because to me, it's more conducive to the consumer, which is where it should have been in the first place. It should have been more conducive to the people that's spending the money on stuff.
Yeah. I also think it's helpful to the artist too, because I mean, I don't know the money aspect of it, but I feel like there's a lot more artists that it's very easy for them to get on these platforms and showcase, their talent.
And to your point, I think it's a double-edged sword on that, right? Because it's easy to get on there. It's easy as an artist for you. It's easy to get on any platform that you want to get on. But also that means it's easy for other people to get on. So now the market is oversaturated. You're kind of a drop in the pond, so to speak. But I think ease of access is better than not, because you got gatekeepers and stuff like that, which is how you kind of got into the industry before. If you didn't get there, then they considered you an underground artist or whatever. And but yeah,
good point, Khujeaux.
So easy. In a world where movie theaters are kind of going to be ancient history, do you imagine that streaming services will, one, start charging more, or two, do you think that they will go back to, like, once all this kind of has evolved into like, okay, we know movie theaters are out, now we can make more money, do you think they'll go back to the one per movie model instead of it's just included in the streaming?
I think it's possible, but I also think too that if you get such a big group of customers, do you really want to piss them off and have them start thinking of other options, or have somebody in their college dorm thinking of the next best thing to run you off?
Yeah. I was about to say they don't have no other options. Movie's gone.
But you never know, right?
Yeah.
You just never know.
Then you got an Insta movie pops up from some German college freshman, like you said. Yeah, I got
Insta movie.
I think, and this is just me, and they might see this and steal the idea, but I wouldn't be shocked if streaming services like Netflix or HBO Max, they get into the business of, hey, we're gonna start making like in-home theater equipment. That way you can get the full movie experience.
Uh-huh. How do you imagine that happens?
I think it'll be like they'll probably, I don't know if they'll do it on their own or if they'll partner with like Bose or Beats or somebody like that, but Netflix in-home movie theater equipment. Easy to install stereos and speakers.
So basically you're leasing in-home.
Well, not even leasing, but just like,
that'd probably be the best
like
option.
Let's say if you buy a Netflix subscription, you get 10% off our in-home theater equipment, and now you have the in-home theater experience.
Oh shit! Like how you get your modem from like Comcast, where they like send that shit to you, and as long as you got the service, it's yours.
Yep.
Man, that is smart as hell. Patent motherfucking pending.
Yeah. Nah, like for real, like if you don't do anything else, patent the idea. That way, if they actually do come out with it, you can make money.
I really need to look into that, because when I saw the news about HBO Max doing something like that, I was like,
I buy you the stamp to mail it off to the patent office.
That should get you 10%.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's something they should definitely look into, because I know for a minute, like people really was like all about buying the in-home theater systems, and people went away from it because the shit, if you're not like a mechanic or a contractor,
right,
like that shit is hard to install. Like there's some serious wires involved. It's not straightforward. So
now, the only thing I would say, and it would, so how do you imagine it playing out? Because I feel like leasing, just like with smartphones, like you paying $40 extra a month to have the newest iPhone, but you got to turn that phone in so you can get the new one or whatever. So it's like a continuous cycle, just like leasing cars, right? So the company can continue to make money off of it. So I think for them, that might be the best. But for consumers, and like to your point about contractors, you got to run wires, you got to have people drilling holes in your wall. So when you're done with that, you're like, I don't want Netflix anymore. I don't want this anymore. Now you got holes in your walls from where speakers were and wires, showing and stuff like that. So,
well, I think 16 made a good point that, you could do it like what a cable company does. Hey, as long as you have the subscription, you can lease our equipment. And now, like, I mean, look how far speakers have come, like with Bluetooth speakers and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
so we could hook up to your Alexa
up with a Bluetooth speaker with a stand that connects to, some home device, and
I
don't know. Alexa.
I think the sound quality is going to be better from not Bluetooth, but Bluetooth is definitely an option. I think it's starting in terms of
I feel like that is it's a developed space, but I think it could get much better.
We can fine tune it later. Let's do this offline. You know what I mean? So we can get our idea together and make that money, because that's brilliant.
Yeah, but if I'm really trying to kill the movie theater,
no, them is us. Them is us.
Yeah, them is us. Definitely.
Yeah. I do for you because this whole topic is so interesting. So, did you feel like these people with the streaming service, what would you rather like? Let me ask you, Khujoe. So, on one hand, if you're a movie studio, right? Like we use Netflix as an example because they put out their own movies. Would you be okay with hitting people with brand new releases that's $30 a pop? Or are you more comfortable getting that $17 from somebody every month, knowing that they're going to pay for it every month? Because to me, I'd rather have that monthly money than a one-time purchase. I'd rather you stay for 2 or 3 years paying for the whole service versus the one big boom. If
it were, Khujeaux streaming platform, whatever, Khuj Flicks, I think I would.
Your Netflix?
Exactly. I think I would do a combination of both, right? So if you are a monthly subscriber, when Rush Hour 8 drops, you will have the option of where in order to watch it, you have to pay $10 on top of your monthly subscription. If you are not a subscriber, you pay $35. If you just want to see Rush Hour in your house, you don't have to be a subscriber. But we do need your information or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Clock in all that. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the way I would do it because, I mean, extra money is extra money, right? If I have the option, and I'm just thinking from their perspective. As a consumer, I wouldn't think that that's fair. I would just say, hey, you know, give it to me the best option. Just give it to me for what I'm already paying. But if we're going to take away movie theaters and be like, okay, I can recoup that money because you don't want to see it and you just don't want to see it. But if you really want to see it, then you're going to pay this $10. You don't have no other option.
That makes sense. My thing is like, because I don't think you could. Well, yeah, you can. You could buy a prepaid. Netflix has a card where you could prepay for a year, don't they? Yep. Yeah. So I'm not in the business of taking away guaranteed money. So if I know I can get you know, a month worth of 12 months worth of, you know, however many dollars for you versus one, boom, I'm gonna take the longer stream of money. But in the end, like you said, extra money is extra money.
Yeah, and then we can offer you two different ones. Like, hey, you want the year of service without new movie releases, it's $100. If you want the year of service with new movie releases, it's $150.
And see, just like that, you saw me because I just spend the extra $50 and have all the JJs.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. The only thing to watch out for if you do like the movie's out, you gotta pay $30. You might get some pay-per-view vibes and 16 people end up at a house just, you know, pitching in to watch the movie at one person's crib.
Yeah. But I mean, look, the same thing can happen with Netflix. Like everybody knows Khujeaux has HBO Max. But like, hey man, I don't want to subscribe. I just want to see Wonder Woman. Can I come over? Let's throw a Wonder Woman, you know, screening party at your house.
Yeah, literally.
The Khujeaux gonna be like, let's say that we don't though.
No, I'm not. Look, now I'm charging $30. That's really cool.
Hey, I'm taxing $30. You wanna come sit in here? I'm taxing $30. That's
just like Easy said, like pay per view.
It's people you like and you can tolerate, so that helps it too.
Yes. Nah, even if I don't like you paying $30 to come watch this movie.
He said like don't have nothing to do with it. Khujeaux said, if you got the cash, I got the time.
Look, I'm gonna run to the dollar store and have like a little box snacks and some popcorn. Exactly. Okay, look, no. All right, so look, you said what brand?
Orange box.
All right, so we agreeing that that's the top brand of popcorn, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, matter of fact, I was gonna say, if we're doing random things, I'm gonna grab it right here because I got a popcorn machine.
Really
I got a popcorn machine for Father's Day last year, but here it is right here, product placement over Redenbacher right here. Look, I even got, listen, you can't even get, you see this at the fair? I'm all off camera. Flavor call, the actual ones that they use at the movie theater.
Wow.
So, yes.
That's dope. That's super dope.
So, did we just go into a QVC break?
I guess, look, or
somebody go pick us up.
Look, one gotta stay. We all agreed that over Redenbacher. But no, for real, like I had this discussion with my wife, and she feels like over Redenbacher is like bottom tier popcorn. I'm like,
what's top tier?
Though?
Top Secret is hers, but she also eats Act 2, which is dollar store popcorn. So I'm like,
I was gonna say it's the name. It's the one you know.
I would think Pop Secret is definitely second place, but I don't know.
So. I mean, there really isn't a. I think when you go in the popcorn section, the only two that I typically see.
Yeah, but then there's the one, I can't think of the brand. It's like the guy in the cowboy hat.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's some other little smaller ones, but like the ones that's taking up the most space with the different levels of butter and the other different.
Yeah, I mean, they got the butter. They got, and I'm not talking about like the flavor. I'm talking about like they got the little thing of butter now.
Right,
they got seasoning. They got.
And that's over Redenbacher and Pop Secret. And then,
what hooked me to them was when they came out with the popcorn that you pop, and it came with a pouch of like flavor, and you just used to shake it up. Man, they had like a cheese one. I don't know if they still make it, but that thing was.
Now they do. Now I don't know if it's still in the box, but you can buy it separate. It's next to it on the shelf. But anyway, so while we're talking about movies, something big has happened in the movie world. Well, first, I mean, we lost somebody that was pretty big. We lost Chadwick Boseman, and something major happened where they have to quickly pivot, make a decision because it was already on the roadmap in the current phase of the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where they were going with the storyline for the character he played, T'Challa, Black Panther, right? So now they have to quickly pivot and make a decision on whether or not they're going to recast or other. And I think that there was an announcement recently that they are deciding to pick up later in the storyline where his little sister, who we saw in Black Panther and Avengers Endgame, Shuri, where she picks up the mantle of Black Panther, and that's caused all kind of issues, right? So I want to ask, Easy, what were your thoughts, or what direction do you think that the movie studio should have gone in terms of filling the gap that Chadwick Boseman left?
So I think to answer your question, with modern technology, I think there's probably a way for them to let Chadwick Boseman play out, just kind of like how they did Paul Walker and Fast and Furious. I think that should be the way to go, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, the story eventually is the sister picks up and becomes the Black Panther anyway. Mm-hmm. But I just kind of feel like you'd be doing Black Panther disservice if you don't kind of sentimentally find some way to kind of let him
transition.
Transition.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably the better word.
What about you, M16?
Well, my first thought process was with it is that who said that it had to be a sequel in the tradition of live action? Because if make it animated or CGI, and you can make it whatever you want it to be, Chadwick can live on, that character in that way, because it's not, you can make history saying it's the first MCU movie that's connected to the universe, but it's not live action, it's animated or it's CGI.
Yeah,
and it still would make just as much money as the first one, and the character could live on. That was my take on it. That's how they could do it. Patent pending, even though I can't patent pen that.
Right.
They own it, but
I did. Yeah, that's.
But I think didn't you share a meme that was basically saying, like, we acting like we can't recast the Black Panther, but we've recasted the Joker twice, or more than that. We've recasted,
right. And that's where I was gonna go. So there was
man.
Yeah.
I mean, why not finish it with Chadwick Boseman and then go get somebody that's more than qualified to do it? I mean, a lot of people are throwing around Michael B. Jordan's name, but
I mean, so here's the thing, right? None of those recasts were in the same universe or timeline, right?
True.
In addition to that, a lot of those recasts were years apart. But I mean, Heath Ledger was probably the most notable one when Dark Knight dropped between when Jared Leto picked up in the next Joker.
8 years.
It was like 8 years, almost a decade. Yep. I think the only one that you could probably say was the quickest recast might be Val Kilmer to George Clooney Batman.
Even then was 2 years in between.
Right. In 2 years, I think we probably looking at that in terms of, when he passed to when the movie's going to be released. But I think that's the quickest one, because even Superman.
I think the point he was trying to make was, just because he passed away doesn't mean we can't.
The character has, and that's
keep it going and make it a reincarnation, and make it decades long.
And nobody is saying the character has to die. The character T'Challa will not die. He hasn't. I mean, even without the MCU, the comic books have been around literally since the 70s. So the character, because he's new to y'all, and because Chadwick Boseman picked it up recently, which is another point that I had wanted to make, was like, literally the only reason some of y'all even know who Black Panther is because of Chadwick Boseman. If anybody else had played that role, or if they had casted that entire movie differently, if it wasn't Chadwick Boseman, if it wasn't Michael B. Jordan, if it wasn't Angela Bassett, if those people, let's just say all three of those people died in some freak accident filming the next one, y'all gonna be like, oh, recast all three of them and just continue the movie. Nah, that was the whole reason that you even went to see the movie, and you fell in love with the character to begin with. So not saying that the character has to die, but in order to not just brush off Chadwick, because it's not just him, and it's not just an emotional thing. Okay, I'll say this. When they recasted Rhodes, when they recasted War Machine, wasn't that weird? Like when you saw Terrence Howard, and then the next movie, a couple years later, you saw Don Cheadle. It was like, it still feels weird.
But it was weird for because Terrence Howard was the first one you saw in there, but after But until you mention that, you almost forget he was in the first Iron Man because Don Cheadle's held the mantle longer than him, and you just keep it moving, you know?
But that's a supporting role, and that transition for a lot of fans was still weird because, like you said, this was the first time we saw any of these characters in live action. And then for just to change it up that quick, you know what I mean? Like it was odd. But the character can live on. But I think we can, for the next movie, fast forward in the timeline, let Shuri take on the mantle, and then in the beginning of the movie, or if you want to do the jump around timeline thing, if it ends up working for the writing, transition to Black Panther. She talks to him in that dream world that Chadwick was talking to his father in, with the kings and the trees and stuff, and he's in the Black Panther suit, so you don't have to worry about recasting another actor. He's wearing the Black Panther suit. She talks to him in the dream world. He some kind of way transitions, whatever you want to write the story out, but it makes sense that she's now the Black Panther. And then fast forward 3 years later, you can recast and do another iteration of Black Panther. Hell, we got Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland within a certain amount of time, but again, it's not the same universe. So
yeah, and also this is a movie that people wanted. Nobody asked for the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Just tossing that.
You know, it's fun. A lot of people. He's the favorite. He's the favorite Spider-Man. I don't know why. I don't know how, but a lot of people like that. Andrew Garfield.
I thought Tobey Maguire was that.
No, I mean, there's some people who, I mean, they, said Tobey was good, but they was like, the best Spider-Man that we got was Garfield. And I'm like,
yeah, maybe he was, but he was doing the worst movies.
I need whatever drugs you're on.
Yeah, I just want to have a conversation with him. I'm just trying to understand.
You just want to talk to him?
I mean, that has to be the hottest of hottest movie takes. This is my first time ever hearing this
piping
right
cold.
Now today.
It's freezing cold.
Yeah, I'm in a couple of those geek groups on Facebook, and just you and Easy.
Yeah, Journey of a Black Nerd. Yeah,
there you go. Yeah,
why am I not in this group?
It's interesting comments in there, man.
Hey, look, 16, I be trying to add you to groups, and you be saying no to that shit, and you act like nobody knows.
You know what's super funny is that I used to try to tag people in those, and M16 is one of them. I used to try to tag people in those back when the group used to let you tag people that's not in the group.
Yeah.
Nobody ever joined. Now all of a sudden I look back.
There was like a few sports groups I was trying to add him to, and he like did no on the slick and acted like I just never noticed. But yeah, we can add you to that one.
Yeah,
I'm a different person now. I'm interested.
He's not anti-Facebook anymore.
I'm not anti-Facebook anymore. I've changed. I'm different. If this was the GOAT Radio 10 years ago, I would have been anti.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
read through some of those comments,
super duper anti-Goku, or I don't know where that came from.
Oh, it's a balance, but people like making fanboys mad. So you'll see a lot of Batman troll posts trying to make Batman fanboys mad.
Yeah,
same thing with Dragon Ball Z.
You figured about those, but it's kind of funny. Like
it is.
It's like one of those things. It's like you're not a fan of it, but it's valid and it's funny, and you just kind of have to chuckle and go about your business.
No, I just can't. I don't know, man. It's just crazy the way people want to act like Chadwick Boseman was a man who played several iconic parts. Yes, we know him as Black Panther, and we're all disappointed and hurt because we're like, damn, we just got you, dog. We just got you with this. Little brown boys and girls been waiting on this, and it's gonna live. We're gonna make sure that it lives, but I wouldn't mind seeing it be recasted because that character deserves to continue to live on.
I agree. I think it deserves to be recasted. I don't think it needs to be recasted for part 2. That was my take.
Who said they have to rush it?
Well, because they already slated to have part 2 begin, and I think and that's what kind of another point that I was making, and I might have hinted at it, but I'm like, this decision impacts an entire universe. So it's like, it's not just that you're gonna recast them for Black Panther 2, but if they end up doing any more group movies or team movies or ensemble movies or whatever, then that impacts the rest of the universe. Not even his cameos in connected films, like if they did another Civil War or whatever. So it's bigger than him. It's bigger than Chadwick. I think that recasting him would make it a very weird transition in the rest of the universe. And it's like I said, it's nothing to do with my emotions, anything like that. That's a small percentage of it, but I think the impact it'll have for the.
I mean, it'll be weird watching it, but just like the Terrence Howard situation, like it unfolded in front of our eyes. Like Terrence Howard literally said, if y'all don't give me X amount of dollars, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knew why he wasn't in the next Iron Man. So, it's the same thing here. Like,
but they also replaced Terrence Howard with a superior actor too. It's not like they went and got, no disrespect, but it's not like they went and got like Morris Chestnut to play, They went and got
disrespect.
I'm not trying to be, but I'm just saying.
Tell me Tyrese would have been a bad War Machine.
No,
is that what you're telling me?
I'm not taking a shot at Morris Chestnut. I'm just saying he's nowhere. We all know he's nowhere near the actor that Don Cheadle is my point. Not saying that Morris Chestnut is trash. Yeah. So but it's not like they upgraded.
But that was a supporting role. I mean, up until Civil War, we didn't even really see a whole lot of war. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was in the Iron Man movie. But Don
Cheadle had probably had like 2 cameos.
Right.
So, like, movie to that point.
So I'm like, if you recasting something as big as a main cast, so like, okay, Robert Downey Jr. is obviously the anchor. Iron Man is the anchor around the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Something happens to RDJ, God forbid. But like, now you got to recast Iron, which, I mean, he old. He was probably gonna, not have that long. He probably gonna pull a Logan, help me out, Hugh Jackman, and be like,
Hugh Jackman,
done, man. But anyway, if something happened to him before Avengers Infinity Wars, and then now all of a sudden it's like, oh, we gotta hurry up and recast, whatever. It'd just be odd because of what it does to the rest of the universe. And then, you saw him in that was Thor in Doctor Strange. Anyway, whatever. So that was my whole point. The connection that it would, or the impact it would have on all the connections throughout the universe. It was just
because what they set him up, Khujoe, you would know this.
Yeah. So
were they setting up, was Black Panther being set up as the face of this next phase? Was it like him and Spider-Man where he's like, somebody had to take up the Iron Man mantle as the face of the Avengers?
No, it's not going to be, Black Panther wasn't going to be the new Iron Man, but his next movie, I mean, obviously there's Black Panther 2, and then I think Black Panther was slated to cameo in a couple other movies further down the line, I think, if I remember right. But like I said, if they wanted to recast later, I would be more for that and let, like I said, Shuri take on. There's a way to tell that story of how that transition happened without it feeling rushed. Marvel they've got a crack team over there. But they can recast it later and make it like a new timeline or whatever, and then, or alternate universe, just like they're doing with Spider-Man. I mean, we had 3 Spider-Man, now they're pulling it all together to show like a Spider-Verse. And as we know with the comics, there's, different versions of how T'Challa's story was told. Like the 1970 T'Challa ain't the same as the one that was released in 2002 and different than the one that was just released in 2015. So it's like, it's different. So you do the same thing.
Side note real quick too, the name of the comic back in the day they could never use today because back then it was called Marvel Jungle Action, and I just not sure that they're gonna be using Jungle Action, and
I want to say that wasn't racist, but
I don't think it was, but it's just funny at the fact that it was called Marvel Jungle Action.
All right, so
high budget applause real quick.
Yeah. I think that was all I wanted to get out about the chat. I had to unload on that one because there was a lot of people talking about, folks was saying it was just based on emotion. I'm like, that's a half truth. It's more about the fans. And they were like, well, the fans, his story deserves to be told because we finally get a Black superhero and he's rich and he's powerful and he's blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, we didn't finally get that. We got him on screen. He's been there. Like, because you know what I'm saying? Like, he's been there in different
somewhere Wesley Snipes with Blade, he's jumping up down like, guys, hey, I've been there, I was on screen. Hey.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
And I think some people were like, well, they should never make another one. That's it.
That wasn't me. Nah. I'm just saying he don't have to be recast for the next movie. Like, we don't need to go
it has to continue. How many like Khujoe, you said, how many times have they recast Batman? How many you lose count of how many they are. Shit, Affleck wasn't even done with his before they went and cast, Robert Pattinson, man. It's been so many.
Yeah, 5. So it's been Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney, Bale, Affleck, and now Pattinson. Yep. I ain't count him because his ain't been released yet. They could scrap the whole movie and not even whatever. Is anybody gonna go see that one? Are y'all curious about that one?
Yeah, a little bit. I am. Well, I'm a Batman fan, but even now I'm starting to like.
Yeah.
At first I was like, not Affleck, but the way Affleck plays like his Batman, like before they neutered him in Justice League, but the way he played Batman
was Batman.
That was Batman. I'm talking about that was some Arkham Asylum shit he was pulling off.
That was Batman. Yeah.
He was brutal in your face.
I think, and this is all speculation from screenshots and pictures that are being released, but people are saying that this Robert Pattinson one is going to be more emo. They're going to kind of dive into the psyche of Batman more than they had previously.
It would do that with my action movies. I want bones breaking and explosions.
But I mean, you gotta. There's always been that psych element to Batman because of one of his.
Psych. He's a grown ass man in a bat suit. There's your psyche.
Exactly. No, because he dealt with a lot. I mean, the trauma of seeing your parents murdered in front of you, and then all of a sudden you want all this bat themed stuff because you saw a bat after they died. Why? Why would you want to pick that to constantly remind you? You know what I mean? Like you are living in your PTSD, and you've made that your brand. Like imagine going to war and you lose a leg. Now you got a one leg logo, and then like you throwing legs at people. You know what I mean? Like why would you want that to be your brand? Anyway, so Easy, are you curious about this new take on if that fan theory is correct?
In regards to Batman, or are we just talking?
Like if they're gonna dive into the psyche of Batman, like Robert Pattinson is gonna be emo.
I mean, I think it's better than watching his parents die in every movie. Like same thing with Spider-Man. It's like, man, we about to watch Uncle Ben get shot for like the 5th time. Like, so I think it's different. Which somebody like me, I'm tired of seeing remakes. I'm tired of seeing stuff remixed and all this other stuff. Yeah. So I think it'll be cool. I mean, you'll still get people to watch it. People are still going to check it out. Yeah, so
I agree.
Yeah, why not?
I am 100% in agreement with you there. I said the same thing a while back. Even before when Affleck announced he was only going to do this one movie, I was like, whoever does it next, please don't let it be an origin story. Like we just got the origin like 3 times,
right, in
less than 10 years. Like,
and I think that's why people found Joker so refreshing, because it was just different. Like, and I mean, if you're going to do that type of story where you're looking at his mind, looking at why he did what, why not do it with Batman, the face of it all?
Yeah, I agree. So I'm saying you don't want your action movies to have to be like a psychotic thriller, so to speak.
He said, "Leave Twilight where it is."
That's a little bit of stick for me, because I actually enjoyed the emotional aspect of the Nolan Batman series. The fact that it was Batman in a grounded world, where basically that movie was like The Dark Knight was basically Heat with a guy dressed in a costume and a killer clown. It was a crime drama.
Yeah, and
I'm cool with that. I think some of it is the fact that it's just like it's been too much. Like some of these characters need a break for a second so it can feel fresh again. Yeah. I mean, damn,
Batman,
like I said, I think, nobody's a bigger Batman fan than me, but I think the character needs a break for like several years. Like when Batman and Robin killed the franchise and there was no Batman movie for like 8-9 years, and then Batman Begins was fresh. I feel like that's what it needs. It's superhero fatigue with certain characters.
Yeah, I agree.
No, this is man, this conversation about this, like where the movies are headed and stuff. This is, man, we could do this all day, man. It's like talking hip hop. We could do it all day, because at heart, we might be these cool radio and YouTube personalities, but deep down we're just nerds, and we like comic books and video.
May not be so deep down, but that is very, very accurate.
Actually, it's not deep down. We're wearing it. This is what it is.
I was gonna say something else about that. Oh, the Joker. So I didn't know that I was gonna like that movie as much as I did.
It's tremendous.
Took the time to avoid watching it, and then I ended up watching it on, I think, an airplane. One day I had a long flight, and I'm like, you know what?
It's just great.
Let's go ahead and watch it. It's phenomenal. Like, it was basically, to your point, like Batman, and that's what made me think about it. To your point, like Dark Knight being Heat, like it was a crime drama with a dude dressed in a costume. The Joker was basically a movie about a mentally ill guy, and he just so happened to be based on a comic book character. Like, if you didn't know who the Joker was, you would just think like this is just a movie about. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. Yeah. You didn't even get a mention of anything DC really until they brought up Thomas Wayne. That was it. Yeah. That was kind of really the only thing. I mean, obviously he's Joker and whatever, but like if I showed this to somebody who's completely oblivious to anything DC, like if I showed this to my mama and she watched it or whatever, she would just, that would just be it. So I would be cool with them taking a similar approach to Batman. But I think Nolan did a decent job. You know how I feel about that whole.
That's another debate too.
He did okay, but yeah, I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with this Man, this next one.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna put it out here. Not that we're, in the business of. I mean, we do. I don't know these guys personally, but we started following each other on Instagram, and I started listening to their show. And I think they might listen to ours too. I'm not sure, but it's this podcast called Reels of Justice, where they put movies on trial, where they have one on one side arguing against the other. You might enjoy what they talk about on there. Maybe we could talk to those guys one day.
We need to have them on. I'm 100% for that. And it's funny you mentioned that. I saw a video online. I think it might have been Tony Baker or somebody posted it. And I think we all saw this meme before, where it's like it's an M&M's box and it's a Reese's box and it's a stack of movies under both.
Yep.
And then so it was that, and he was talking about it, but he went one by one comparing the movies in each stack. It's funny you mentioned that because I was having that conversation, and it was like comparing Goonies to like The Warriors or something like that, and I'm like, that's a little unfair, but you know what I mean? Like it's cool to just, like you said, put them on trial one against the next one. So I want to do that.
So maybe we reach out to them and see if we can make a mashup happen, because the way like some of the movies that they like, it's movies that you wouldn't think that people would review, and they go out and check them out, and it's just a cool concept. So shout out to the Reels of Justice podcast. They do shout out to them. So might look into making that happen. That'd be cool.
We got to talk anime one day too. Easy, do you partake?
Not as much as I used to, but if we talk about the classics like Dragon Ball Z and One Piece.
Fist of the North Star is my favorite anime movie probably of all time.
When you say you watch, because M6, every time we talk about anime or any cartoon, you talk about Fist of the North Star. I want to hear more recent anime that you watch, because I don't want that to be the end of your list.
Well, I got the Funimation channel, but I mean, I'll just flip past it and whatever's on there, I'll just check it out. You know what I'm saying? So
I got you.
I just I like it. I wouldn't call myself a fanboy, but if it's on or if I could find something, I'm interested.
Full transparency, I literally think that's all I watch now. If it's not on Cartoon Network, if I am going out and streaming something, and like my wife don't have a remote, if I'm in charge of I'm going downstairs watching TV by myself or whatever, I'm watching anime. Like, I don't know why, I'm just on this anime kick. I'm not watching anything else.
It's really good. Like when I was coming up, man, that was my shit. Like,
I'm not even watching it at all.
Like Yu Yu Hakusho, One Piece. Like,
oh man, yeah.
I used to be all into that.
Yu Yu Hakusho was so good.
What? Man, don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
But for later on, I texted you guys 2 options for One Gotta Go, since we've been talking about movies.
Oh, wow.
I was gonna ask Khujoe, you plugging tonight, man, before we get to One Gotta Go?
Yes, sir. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I don't have it with me, but I got
All right, and look, we are equipped this time. The beauty of it.
There we go. First time with the new
this
thing.
From a T.I. album.
Sound good, don't
it? It does.
Okay. So, Snack Club. I did a holiday edition recently where I reviewed several different holiday themed snacks. So go out on YouTube, check that out at Khujeaux, the same look. Is that? Hopefully I'm pointing in the right direction where you see.
If not, he'll just stick it there. If it's wrong, he'll just put it there.
But yeah, so I'm gonna talk about my favorite one from the 6 snacks that I reviewed. Sugar cookie M&Ms. Now,
oh shit.
Close runner-up, sugar cookie, Hershey's Kisses. Actually, no, the Elf on the Shelf sugar cookie. There's a lot of sugar cookies. It's a very popular flavor this holiday season. And all of those are new, so go check them all out. But the sugar cookie M&Ms were so good because number one, if you know about M&M's crispy, then you know how good they are. With the little, it's a Rice Krispie in the middle of an M&M, so it'll give you a little extra crunch, pop of airiness, kind of the texture flavor combination of having a Rice Krispie in the middle of your M&M. It's that with white chocolate sugar cookie coating, and it's delicious. I love crispy is top 2 M&M flavors of all time, and I don't think it's number 2, but I don't want to be so rash and just say that it's the greatest of all time. But I think it's the greatest of all time. Yes,
I agree.
Yeah, no, crispy is the best one, and it's
crispy. Between that and peanuts, man, I'm good. Like, yeah. I don't need nothing.
Peanut butter is good too, though. I like that one.
I've heard the peanut butter is good. The caramel I liked. Apparently, the brownie's very good.
The hazelnut was decent. I was a little underwhelmed with it, but it was still good. I would eat that over the regular plain. But anyway, getting off top. Sugar cookie M&Ms. Very good sugar cookie flavor. I don't know that it gives you 100% the same kind of feel or its flavor as a regular sugar cookie, but it was a pretty good interpretation. And the crunch that you get from that crispy reminds you of biting into a crunchy cookie. So that's what you've been plugged to: sugar cookie M&Ms.
Man, that sounds amazing. The high budget applause, the Khujeaux Snack Club. Man, look, when you said that, I was like, oh, that is like, man, we got to do one of these one day, like you said, man, either like in person or just all of us coordinate where we get the same thing you get ready to plug and we try it on air and we just sit here and eat on YouTube. We got to
do that because, y'all got to be the next snack plug and friends. Like I said, I don't know how comfortable everybody is with me. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can socially distance while we do it, or everybody sits 6 feet apart and we just film at different angles. We can make it work. But it's just what everybody's comfortable with doing and what everybody's schedule looks like.
Well, it's also knowing the people that you're around. Like, I know I wear my mask faithfully. I know you do, Khujeaux.
Yeah.
You do too, Easy. We all done took that walk of shame when we walked out the car. It's like, God damn it, I forgot the damn mask.
Yep.
You run back to the car. Yes.
And my hand washing routine has not changed since pre-pandemic because
Which
I
is
always
washing your hands.
Yeah, I always wash my hands every opportunity I got. I still wash my fucking hands.
And then we talk about me. I was carrying hand sanitizer in my pocket. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is what I do.
I had it in the car already, so yeah.
We can do it. We can definitely make that work, man. I just got to figure out what theme. I want to try to do a theme since the first one had a theme, but it wasn't planned that the first one had a theme, if that makes sense. Like, I just so happened to have, like, literally I overwhelmed myself, spirit of transparency. I went out and bought, like, I was like, oh, do this video, not thinking about how much time it takes actually having the time, being a dad and having the time to sit down and dedicate to filming and editing and all this other kind of stuff. And anyway, long story short, I just got all this stuff and I was like, I got to eat this fast and I need some people to help me. So I was like, I called 2 of my homeboys and they was like, bet. So we got together. And it just so happened that a lot of it was hot stuff. So I was like, let's make it the hot edition. You know what I'm saying? And so I got to see if I want to keep that going.
And I agree with that video that the hot kettle, flaming hot. If you have not tried that,
those are good.
Do yourself a favor and just go ahead and try them.
Now they're not as hot. They're not as hot as I thought they were gonna be because
it's just something about that seasoning on that type of chip.
Yeah.
It's game changing, man. And I don't think enough people have tried it yet, but it is great.
The sleeper, and I don't want to take this time to just talk about myself, but the sleeper in that video was the flaming hot macaroni and cheese. I did not expect to like that as much as I did. That shit was good. Like, I still remember how
it was better than what I thought it was, but probably won't be eating it again. Now the regular one was good.
Yeah.
Really like the jalapeno one.
Okay.
If you haven't tried that one.
I haven't tried the jalapeno one.
Both of them are very good. All at Walmart next to each other.
Gotcha.
Under $1 a box.
Yeah, and I didn't grab it because I didn't grab all 3 because I didn't think I was gonna like it. Like I had my expectations set low.
Yeah, no, they did a good job with it.
Yeah.
They definitely did.
Yeah. But anyway, that's it. Plug.
Sweet. I'm trying some of those, man. First chance I get, I'm getting some of those. By
No,
trying it, I mean I'm gonna order them on Amazon Fresh. But
no, for real, like get the flaming hot kettle and then the flaming hot macaroni and cheese. Like set your expectations low. Don't listen to me telling you how good they are. Like just expect not to like them. That's how you should go into it.
Yes, I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Nice. Man, I'm with it. Sugar cookie M&Ms. I still can't get that out of brown. Like, yeah, that's happening.
So sugar cookie M&Ms, sugar cookie Hershey's Kisses. The Elf on the Shelf cereal is sugar cookie flavored with marshmallows in it. Somebody else had something sugar cookie flavored. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, there you go. That's what's all out there this season.
Nice. A quick housekeeping on air. Well, actually not housekeeping, just fast news and notes here. And then we got to figure out who's going to share this one. Got to go on their screen because I'm sharing something and I don't know if anybody else got access to be able to share on theirs, but we get to that in a second.
Do we know which one we're doing? I guess we could just read it.
We can just figure it out.
You sent 2. Got it.
I sent 2. So we can do superhero groups or we can do movie series.
Man, I like the superhero groups, man. It goes with the theme we've been talking about. Might as well
we've been talking about movies. Hold on, let's see.
I felt like both were fitting, so whichever way you
I'm good with either. I want to toss this out here real quick. I don't know when this show is gonna drop, when people finally see it post-production and all that, but we got the glorious return of the Aftermath this weekend. 2 of them actually. On Friday, Tiki and I are going to talk to a young lady by the name of Tay. She hosts a podcast called Talks with Tay. It's like a relationship podcast, but she goes into a lot of different places with the conversation. So we're going to holler at her on Friday. And then on Saturday, Easy and I are going to be talking to a real estate agent by the name of Michael Talley. We're going to talk to him about what it's going to take for, if you're out there trying to purchase a house, what it's going to take to get you in there, his style of what he does to help his clients. He's also a former radio host too, so we're gonna share some stories about what he used to do back when he was a radio host too. So 2 Aftermaths this weekend, both of them on YouTube and all your streaming platforms. Also, don't forget to check out Khujeaux's snack plug. It's on the screen right there. Just search for Khujeaux right there on YouTube to check him out. ATL Diva's got Cassandra Octavia. Just search for that. Tiki got Bella and Kai. So everybody out here they out here trying to make it happen, man. So tossing that out there.
So with that, I think you should do both.
F it. Why not?
Yeah. Hey, all right. We here.
Yes, sir.
We are.
Okay.
Oh, damn. We got them side by side.
Sweet. Easy. This is your domain, man. Take it away.
All right, cool. So since Khujeaux's got it on the left, we'll start on the left side. So movie series, one gotta go. We got Lord of the Rings, Mission Impossible, 007, Mad Max, Harry Potter, and Star Wars. I'm gonna just say off the rip, Star Wars definitely ain't going nowhere. So I'll leave it up to you guys.
MC, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna go last.
Okay, so for me, like how Easy likes to go and tell you which ones are like, hey, this right here is staying. So with let me just make sure I understand it. So with the 007 franchise, that's from Sean Connery all the way down to Daniel Craig. It's the entire library. Okay. So what's staying for me on this one is the Mission Impossible movies.
That's number 2 for me, for sure.
They're damn staying. All right, they are just too, like, the last 2 Mission Impossible, you can make an argument that's 2 of the best action movies that you'll ever see. For me, the one that has to go on this one, man, just due to the fact that I just wasn't interested in it and I flipped past it and not interested. I guess I go with Lord of the Rings. I just wasn't interested. The rest of them all good, but this I just wasn't interested.
Khujeaux?
Yeah, the one I thought we would have. I don't think the universe. Not saying that it's taken away from the movies at all. I don't think the universe is big enough to compare to the other ones. Was Mad Max. So I'm not going, because I'm biased there, I'm not going to send that one home. I will say that, and I am still reviewing in my head, but it's between Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. And I am going to go with, Harry Potter, only because Lord of the Rings, the books have been around longer, so they kind of stay culturally relevant for longer. Not taking nothing away from Harry Potter books, because they popular as hell, but I think that time in and experience kind of plays more into Lord of the Rings' favor, and then the movies were just as good, if not, better than the Harry Potter one. So I'm gonna go with Harry Potter, man. Final answer.
And I'll be different. I'll go Mad Max. Not saying it's trash, but like I haven't watched like the original ones, but I've seen the most recent one and it was really good. I just love the other ones so much, even though Star Wars is really trying to drop the ball with that last trilogy they threw out. They're really trying to irk some people. The rest of it is just too good to give up. 007, you can watch almost all of those from start to finish. Harry Potter, I read the books, watched the movies. Mission Impossible, still great after all these years. Lord of the Rings, nothing recent, but just great.
Even some of the animated adaptations of Lord of the Rings, Hobbit.
Yeah, like I mean,
kind of stuff, all of them were great, man.
Lord of the Rings, I mean, they went all out. They had the book, they had the movies, they had the video game, like you name it, they had it. It was on the front of your brain all the time. Next one we have on the right side, we have you want to call it superhero movies, superhero groups, however you want to call it. That's what we got on the right side. We got X-Men, we got Fantastic Four, we have the Avengers, we have the Justice League, we got Suicide Squad, and then we have Guardians of the Galaxy. Off the rip, Avengers definitely staying, and X-Men is definitely staying, because I've been with X-Men since they had the cartoon and everything else. So,
Whitney Houston theme song.
I can't unhear it, Khujoe. You
Bro,
did it, man.
Man, hey, I can't. I like that song. I like "I'm Your Baby Tonight," and it's on one of my playlists. Every time it come on, I'm like, bro, this is the X-Men theme song. Who did that?
Yeah, and you can't. You put it in the post. You like, once you go here, you can't unhear.
Right.
It. So now every time you hear Whitney singing that,
it's
you just
X-Men.
see Wolverine. Yeah.
You hear all the whoosh.
Yep.
Go ahead and sing. We'll do the same order. You go ahead.
Okay, so I have to, with some of this, I have to take out some of the bias that I have when it comes to these movies, because based on how annoying Peter Quill was in messing up everything in Infinity War, I've still not forgiven him for beginning to pistol whip, spoiler alert, Thanos, when they almost had the goddamn gauntlet off his hand.
No. Let's stop right there. I'm tired of people. I'm tired of people putting that on Quill. It took them entirely too long to get that glove off. I get that that's, it was written that way or whatever, but he was unconscious, bro. Like, there was no reason why y'all shouldn't have been able to take that glove off. Regardless of if he gave them extra time, something else would have eventually happened, because the plot had to play out the way that it played out. But if it wasn't Peter Quill, something else was going to happen. Spider-Man and Iron Man took too long to get that goddamn glove off. That's all I'm going to say.
We can debate that.
I'm putting it on them.
Take that long, or is Thanos just that damn strong that it really took all that effort? I mean,
no, because they were just whooping his ass when he was conscious. They legit was punching him in the face and he was getting knocked off balance. Now you're telling me he unconscious and you can't take a glove off his hand?
It's Peter Quill's fault. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. But so if I take that out of that, before all that, I was loving them. That the one that has to go on here, because if we start talking about weak movies, because Fantastic Four has the weakest movies, that and Suicide Squad, out of this group. It's Justice League staying, Avengers staying, X-Men staying. Based on what the Guardians of the Galaxy are, they have to stay. Suicide Squad must go. They must stay gone, and they must never be spoken of again in this group.
Okay,
get them out of here.
All right, so if you didn't choose Suicide Squad, if you had to take them out,
it would be the Guardians of the Galaxy that would go after them.
Okay. For me, I think Suicide Squad was kind of up against the ropes on this one. I don't think they could stand against the other ones in terms of movies, and I mean culturally, I don't think too many people was aware of Guardians of the Galaxy prior to the movie. I think pretty much just like Suicide Squad, so they probably might be in the same boat there. But without Suicide Squad being there, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Fantastic Four, man, just because of what Guardians did with their movie franchise. They got an animated adaptation that's pretty dope, and Fantastic Four their movies is what's making me choose them. The team itself, dope, one of the dopest.
Khujeaux, you basically took the words right out of my mouth. I'm right there with you. Fantastic Four, great group. I like the characters, but man, those movies were terrible.
Same. Yes.
They took a break and the movie got worse. They took a break and the movie got worse.
but hold on, Easy. I have it on. It's in an episode from years ago of the radio show that you and the jerk went to bat for that movie, saying that Rotten Tomatoes got it wrong, that it actually was decent.
It was decent. But it was worse than the first one.
That means it was terrible because those movies were god awful.
Well, I guess you know what? I do remember saying that, and that was the first time I watched it in theaters. And you know how everybody
some of the excitement still hadn't worn off.
Yeah, everybody has the same opinion. You're like, I'm not gonna go in with this bias. I'm gonna, I don't think it was that bad. You're looking at it from a different perspective. But man, I rewatched that thing. I think it came on TNT or something, man. And I was like, man, this is terrible.
Bro.
I can't believe they got this thing. They made it worse.
Mrs. 16 watched that movie when it debuted on HBO all them years ago. And she said, listen, we've seen some bad movies before, and we've seen some things that's like, oh, it's got some really. She's like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. She said, I almost considered logging on and doing some work. That's how bad this movie is.
Wow.
Yeah. Like this movie, the last one came out in. So if this is a previous show, this was like 2015.
Yeah, this is 15.
Yeah. I ended up catching it again, and I was like, this they really made this movie worse than
full transparency. Again, I still haven't seen the new one. Because I haven't heard any good things about it. I haven't heard one person.
Just save yourself the trouble, man.
I think at this point, it's gone.
Let's check the Rotten Tomatoes score on this. Oh
yeah, it was low. It was low. I remember.
That. I think it's in the single digits.
I remember.
I think it's in the single digits.
So while you look that up, let's make this a little bit more interesting, right? So
9%.
God. Wow.
Whew.
That's bad. Well, okay. By comparison, what did Ghost Dad get?
Okay.
That's another movie that I just thought of that I know is terribly rated on Rotten Tomatoes.
Let's see.
Ghost Dad or Leonard Part 6.
All right, let's see. Ghost Dad. I'm efforting here so y'all can talk here.
Oh, it's all good.
Okay.
What?
It's 6%.
Wow.
So you mean Fantastic Four is marginally better
than Ghost Dad?
Statistically, it is better.
Man, that is funny. 9% and 6%. That's crazy.
6%.
And then you got to consider the budgets. I'm pretty sure Ghost Dad had a budget of like $6,000, and then Fantastic Four was like 300 million.
Right, yeah. Like easily over 100 million for sure, probably.
So all right, so let's make this a little bit more interesting. We're gonna take out some of these. We're gonna leave in the big three, and we're gonna do a one gotta go. And this will be the last thing, and we'll wrap it up. So we got a couple minutes left. So from the left, we're gonna do Mission Impossible 007, and Star Wars.
I would argue that's the top three. So we're saying which one's the best out of the three? Or
yeah, well, no, which one got to go out of those three? Mission Impossible, 007, Star Wars.
Ooh.
All right.
You know,
unpopular opinion. Star Wars got to go for me.
I was right there with you until I thought about some of the animated series. Some of those Star Wars animated series are pretty dope.
And this is somebody who loves Star Wars. I got the damn, pop figurines in the other room. I'm just a big guy for the secret agent, gunfighting,
gotcha,
movies, and both of those fit my needs perfectly. So
okay,
M16? It would be hard for me to get rid of any 007 movie, let alone Mission Impossible.
The one that has to go, just to preface it, the Mission Impossible movies, there are no bad ones. There may be some that are better than others, but that entire franchise is very consistent. It's actually gotten stronger as it's gone on into the 2000s and the 2010s and into 2020s now. It's very strong. For me, it's Star Wars. It would have been 007, but the Daniel Craig version of 007, which I feel are the best movies, where they got out, no disrespect to the Pierce Brosnan era, but it was kind of campy. This Daniel Craig will knock your face off your face, and I'm with that. All right. It's Star Wars that's got to go. And Star Wars has been tainted by some questionable movies within the last, say, decade or so.
That's what I'm saying. The last trilogy really soured even hardcore Star Wars fans. Like, like I got some friends who were like legit pissed off about the last movie. So, they still might attack me for my opinion on this, but I say what I say.
Actually, all right, hold on. Let's see. Let's go back. So, Star Wars Episode 1, the one that when they initially brought it back in '99, that got a 52%. That was the first one that's not rated fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. So it goes 92, 94. So that was Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, 94. Return of the Jedi is 82. Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is 52. Then Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, is 65. Then it starts kind of going back up with Revenge of the Sith at 80. Clone Wars, which is an animated series, that's one I want to talk about, super dope, 93. Then they got the other Clone Wars, 2008, which is a movie. That was 18%. Anyway, saying all that to say, there's some, so you're right. There are some questionable ones more recently, but also historically. That might be it. Might be Star Wars for me too.
Yeah, I was not expecting us to sweep that one at all.
Yeah. Okay, so make it a little bit more interesting on the other side too. We're gonna go with X-Men.
We might go viral off of something like this. So
I know, right? We're gonna clip this one out and post that one.
Yeah. Outrage, welcome it. X-Men, all right, so what's the three on the right side?
X-Men, Avengers, Justice League.
Well, as much as I just vouched for X-Men, God, I love the cartoon. Hold on. Damn.
This shit ain't right, Khujeaux.
No, this ain't right at all.
I'll make it. I'm gonna go Justice League, and I know I'm gonna catch a lot of fly. I mean, it's not an easy decision. These are arguably the top three. These are the top three superhero teams of all time. I can't think of any bigger three teams.
No.
I'm gonna go with Justice League, man. I'm gonna go with Justice League. I'm too big. Well, first of all, I gravitate more towards Marvel anyway, but there are a lot of DC characters I do like. Notably, Flash is. I mean,
DC is definitely inferior to Marvel, but that's the one thing they got right is Justice League.
Justice League, yeah.
I'm just thinking about the cartoon and growing up on that, and
I mean, those are if you ask people to name, well, maybe not now because of the Marvel universe, because a lot of people who weren't fans of anything before started liking Marvels, but But if you ask people to name 3 superheroes, it's gonna be Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman.
Absolutely.
So I mean, that's the trinity of superheroes. That's the holy trinity.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think everything else that Avengers and X-Men have going for them, for me, I can't let them go. I can't let X-Men go. I like the dynamic of all the characters in the entire X-Men universe. It's too much, man. I can't let X-Men or Avengers go.
Yeah, this is not fair. You know what? Take me, Lord. Take me, Lord.
Not right. I chose. Y'all got to choose. Come on now.
Ooh.
So, he picked X-Men. This is wrong.
He picked Justice League.
I picked Justice League.
But you picked.
I was about to say X-Men, and then I started thinking about the video games I used to play and all the hours I spent playing the damn X-Men game. So yeah, you're gonna have to come back to me. 16, it's you. Ooh.
Shit is wrong, man. This is not cool at all. This is rough, man. But based on Avengers is flat out staying. It's really a 2-team race here.
That's what I'm saying. It's between Justice League and X-Men because
this
Avengers got Iron Man, Black Panther. We can go on and on. Captain America, Thor. Look,
now, if you go,
you know what?
If you go, go ahead.
See, Justice League gotta go. It's Justice League, man, and I'm a Batman guy, but X-Men is just too hard to give up. They just got so much to offer.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's
begrudgingly it's Justice League.
I might post this in the Ijabun group and see what everybody else thinks.
Yes, I'm very interested.
Or Easy, you posted. It's yours. You posted it in there, and
it's whatever. Just tag me in it.
I was gonna say put a link to the show in there and let people debate it. When the time comes.
I think they got anti-promotion.
It's called spam or whatever.
Yeah, I think they got anti-promotion rules in post. You can't promote yourself.
Oh well. We tried.
Yeah. I might be able to do it in the comments, but I can't do it in the post itself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I ain't happy with it, but there it is.
Yeah.
Man, I was trying to keep Justice League.
You said the same thing?
Yeah. I was trying to keep Justice League, but man.
No.
I can't let Wolverine go. I can't let Mystique go. I can't let
Professor X is the one because the Justice League doesn't have a Professor X.
Cyclops, Jean Grey, Rogue. I can't.
It's too hard to give up.
Even a Magneto, because you either side with or you have empathy for Magneto in situations. There isn't a villain on the X-Men side that you have empathy for. Now you might like the Joker because the nigga's crazy and funny and shit, but like there isn't a villain on that side. You're like, man, Magneto, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the name? Kind of my boy, even though he the villain, you know what I'm saying? Like, there isn't anybody on that side that's like that.
Yeah. That's a damn good one. So I know, we're on a crunch when it comes to time and everything. And I know we got random. So I guess we could try to make them as efficient as possible because I know that, time is time here. What you got on your mind, Khujeaux?
Carriers, mail carriers, postal carrier, parcel carriers. You had months to prepare. This season comes around every year, and you knew at the start of the pandemic in March, you should have known and you should have been preparing for worst case scenario for the holiday season, being that you had already seen an uptick in parcels from the pandemic because people were staying home and ordering stuff. Should have done more hiring. There's a lot of people out there jobless that probably would have been more than happy. Not to get logistically, you know what I'm saying? Your facilities probably can't handle as much, but completely shutting down operations. UPS, I'm looking at you. They stopped picking up from certain retailers because they just couldn't handle the volume. But I feel like a lot of that is lack of hiring, lack of preparation. I'm not behind the scenes in any way. It's just a gut feeling. But that's my random. Y'all should have prepared better.
Man, that's facts.
Y'all messing up people's holidays. That's the one thing we all had to not necessarily look forward to, but it's kind of, silver lining that I'm going to get stuff during this pandemic, or maybe I won't, maybe there's whatever. I don't know. Fix that.
It's facts.
Do better.
It's facts. Yo, I'm going to jump in real fast, and I don't feel like this has been said enough about Trump and the recounts and the voter fraud. But if there's rampant fraud, why weren't the recounts done in all 50 states? Why is it just where he lost is wrong? If it's fraud on both ends, that means some people cheated on the other side too, that there were Republicans that did it as well as Democrats. So if it's fraud, then it should be everywhere, not just in the states that you lost. So I don't understand why that argument isn't being made.
Or if you want to take it further, why aren't you recounting those Senate races that y'all won?
Oh, yeah. Mitch McConnell still got a job. So, I mean, he's the only one that got cheated. Like, the logic behind it, like, they're leaving Mitch McConnell in there, and they're leaving, like, Rand Paul and folks like that. But Trump was the only one that got cheated. It doesn't make any sense to me. If it's rampant fraud going on, then investigate everybody, not just where you feel like you won. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I got to talk to 2 retailers real quick in the spirit of peak season and holiday shopping. Walmart, y'all almost got me in trouble. Y'all told me that my girlfriend's gift was going to be here on November 13th. And November 13th came and gone, and y'all still had the same date in there with no updates. And then when I decided to go home for Thanksgiving, y'all decided to drop the package off when I wasn't here. Y'all said, we're going to drop it November 13th. I was there a whole nother week, never dropped it. Then all of a sudden, hey, your package has been delivered. Really? Try to be proactive, and y'all still wanted to try to bend me over? Really? Next person I got to beef with is Costco. I love Costco. I think it's the best place you can go shop. But you know what? Y'all always have them TVs in the front, and y'all almost made a brother go broke with all these great deals y'all had on those TVs. I'm going to need y'all to chill out, or at least have those deals in another part of the year, because those prices were too hot and those TVs were looking too good. And I almost bought a damn TV that I didn't need. So I'm going to need y'all to either spread the love throughout the year on some of them deals, or figure something out, because y'all almost took all my money before I even got started.
It's insane how cheap TV has gotten.
No, man.
I think because we all came up in the era when, flat screens and HD TVs were new, and you had to pay $5,000 for like a 50-inch plasma or whatever. And now...
Do y'all remember when people had, like, the bigger your TV was, the more cool and expensive it was? Like, if you had a big screen TV, it was literally a big...
Yeah.
Fucking screen with a huge back behind it.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like 50 inches was considered big when all this first started kicking off.
Yeah, I mean, just to throw it out there, Costco had like a Hisense TV, 4K,
82-inch.
It was like 55 inches. On Amazon, normally it's $600. Costco had it for like $240, and I'm like,
wow.
Yo,
that's just
like
I'm just wrong.
I'm seriously standing next to my mom. I'm like, yo, Mom, if I get this TV, will you take my other one? Because I really want it, but how am I going to get it to you? Like, I'm sitting there. I literally sat there for 20 minutes like, damn.
Making life decisions in Costco.
So I can put this in my truck and still have my luggage and everything in the back. But how am I going to get the TV to you? I literally sat there for 30 minutes. And I was like, you know what? The fact that I got to do all this thinking
means I don't know.
It means you should
just walk away.
But eventually it's going to happen. And also, Easy, shout out to you. Side note, man, the executive membership with Costco that you've been trying to talk me into for like the last 3 years, I'm staying. It's staying. They got me. They was like, yo, you spending too much. You need to get it. I've already reaped the rewards. I've already paid for the membership. It's already paid for.
Costco makes it so easy for you to buy electronics there because of the executive membership. I'm like, yo, if I buy this TV here, I get 2% back, and not many retailers can give me 2% back on everything I purchase.
Yeah, it's staying. Yeah, they got me. It's all good. Yeah.
So for full transparency, once again, I don't think I've ever even set foot inside of a Costco.
Okay, so I'm gonna just say this one thing, and then we'll see if you do it. Do you shop at Sam's? Do you have a Sam's membership?
I have a Sam's membership. We used to shop there more often than we do now. We are thinking about increasing the frequency just for certain items like water, paper towels, stuff like that. But we probably still won't shop there a lot. And I was trying to.
So
I was anti-renewing the membership.
If you go to Costco, between the membership, the prices, the deals they have for members, and just the experience of shopping there, you will never go back to Sam's.
Gotcha. So is it like Target to Walmart kind of thing?
It is the warehouse version of if Publix and Target had a baby and it was a warehouse store, that's what it is.
Got it.
And then they give you a side chick called the gas station, which is even cheaper. Yeah, and then the gas prices is out of control. And
I used to see that line all the time at Cumberland.
And you can get your car serviced over there. Don't get me started on all the benefits. We could talk about that offline about the many ways. Maybe Costco, we out here, man. We are for sale.
Especially you with a family. And I told 16 this. I was like, dude, the fact that you are not buying everything at Costco, you are definitely losing money by not
and
buying.
Now there's no other way. There's no other way. My youngest is like, did you buy this at Costco? She even knows the deal. So yes.
Let me see. I'm trying to figure out where the closest Costco is.
What part of town you in?
I'm in southwest, South Fulton.
I know there's one Cumberland.
Yeah, I know Cumberland.
There's one in Sandy Springs, I think.
I'm trying to see if there's one south.
There's one in Alpharetta.
Sharpsburg is the other one that's closest. So Sharpsburg is 15 miles from me, and then Cumberland is 20. So about the same.
Well, like I said, we can. Let's wave to the camera since I guess we're ending off here.
Sorry.
Thanks y'all for watching, listening, audio, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. Radio show all up in your face. We'll catch y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna continue talking about groceries and adulting
offline, but appreciate y'all. Yes.